Hello, friends, fans, and lovers. The name's Mr. Joshua, and I know I'm all alone today. I'm so sorry, but don't worry. We have something else entirely new planned for you, and I think you might enjoy it. I'm here today with Bee the teddy bear, my wonderful assistant, and we will be doing a book review for you on this very book. Not on the book, but about the book. Kind of on the book is confusing. The book is entitled Alice in Zombieland. It's by Gina Showalter, who's usually a romance novelist who has written us a teen paranormal title this time around, and if you're in line, debating whether or not buying this book is a good idea, don't do it. Please. You're falling into a market scam. Allow me to explain why. Point the first. I can't tell you why zombies are in this book. I can't tell you why there are any monsters in this book. I know they're there, but they're only... I want to believe that an author did not sit down and say, I'm going to write a teen romance novel. But wait, I need a better selling book. So I'm going to write it in teen paranormal, which means I need a monster. What monster should I use? Zombies. They sell well. I'll do that one. Works out great. I want to think it was a team effort. That it was an author, a publisher, and an editor who thought that up together, because if one person put that together on their own, I'm just disappointed in what people are writing. Not to mention, how is this related to Alice in Wonderland? Alice in Zombieland is clearly a shot off of that, and reading this book, yes, they make little quips here and there, but nothing's ever a legitimate entrance into a different world. I was disappointed. I wanted a connection to Alice. It didn't need to be the same thing. You didn't have to fall down a rabbit hole, but I needed something. You took that title, you made me excited, and then I walked into this, and here you go, have a bunny-shaped cloud. Really? Oh, and a protagonist named Alice. Thanks. That's exactly what I wanted. You hit it right on the nail there. Arguing about typos aside, because there were quite a few of them in the entire book, the protagonist is completely unrelatable. Not because, well, it is very clear that an adult wrote this book wanting to write a teenager. The things that are said are not... They're trying too hard. You'll get words that don't fit situations, will be too adult, and then you'll get phrases thrown in like quips as if, oh, don't worry, JK, I'm a teenager. Did I forget to tell you that? Allow me to throw it in a few sentences later. I'm still a teenager, in case you were wondering. By the way, I'm a teenager. That's not how you write a teenager. We've all been teenagers, but when you become an adult for long enough, you forget what it was like to be a teenager. I get that, otherwise parents would work better with their kids. But this is not how you write a 16-year-old protagonist. No, Alice is not what a teenager is like. There are moments, yes, where you go, oh yes, a teenager would do that thing. Yes, but to make a character who is living and breathing like a character should be, they need to exist more than a few brief moments where I go, yes, a teenager would do that. She's great at complaining about, I'm not a child, but no one lets me be an adult. Yes, we know, teenagers do that. There is more to being a teenager than that alone. You can't just keep harping on 3 strings that commonly teenagers do and expect your protagonist to be a teenager because of that. No! You've clearly written and are used to writing adults. And this time, just by adding in some quips and using words like craptastically is a word in this book. And then, as Valentine was pointing out, we then parallel that with using the word enraptured. In not the best of usage, by the way. This book isn't terribly written, it's just not written as a teenager. I don't hate the book, I'm just disappointed in it. I expected more with given beautiful cover art and a wonderful quip of a title like that and a back that tells me, hey, we're gonna have a gruesome, dark story, and by the way, where's the romance? Yeah, I spend like half this book waiting for the paranormal romance to come in, because I was expecting it. I enjoy romance. Paranormal romance can totally get on my nerves, but I was positive that the zombie wasn't the relationship, so I was determined. I was going to try and like this relationship. It wasn't going to be a Bella and Edward thing, so I was just really convinced I could enjoy that part. We spent half the book, and I'm like, this is a romance, right? Are you sure? Really? Okay, if you say so, why not? Not to mention there's this hugely agitating God overtone in the story. It is not agitating because it is God. God can be used so wonderfully in stories, either to harper a good point or a bad point. It just depends on how the author's working with it. But that's a great, powerful weapon. Religion, so useful because it defines a lot of who a person is. Alice, the protagonist in this book, has religion tacked on like a sticky note to the side of her head. Not even like her forehead. She's like, it's here. And whenever she looks to the left, you see God scribbled in like red pen. That's all it is. Does it change any actions? No. Does it change any reactions? Not at all. It's like the book was finished, and then they said, you know what you should do? Add God into the book. Oh, okay. So every, like, 50 pages, we'll have a quip like, oh, and then we went to church on Sunday. Will we describe church? No. Will we ever properly have a church experience? No. But we will mention that once upon a time, I went with my family to church on Sunday. Just saying. That's not inputting religion. You can't just throw a keyword in there like God or like zombies or like Alice in Wonderland like you've been doing and expect that to move a book forward. It's like, okay, this book is a weapon. It is a handgun that's been loaded with some wonderful silver, gold, and platinum bullets. And then they just missed every shot on the target. I'm like, that's the shooting range? You were shooting over here. That's not how you write a book. You have grammar down for the most part, aside from some typos, which I'll hope aren't the author and editor's faults, that they just glossed over that. They didn't realize that was there. You have word structure down, you have plot, you've got a bit of pacing. That isn't the bad part. It's like you just don't know how to compel an audience or how to use what you've actually written into your story. You have these wonderful paintbrushes, and you don't use them properly. It's like you painted in grayscale when you were given a full Prismacolor box set. And the last point is, I could probably look past everything else in this book. Most things in this book, I'll accept, you know? You did a lot of it for marketing. You wrote it decent enough. It's not to be hated. Will it go on my collection of favorite books ever? No. But could I read through it? Yeah. But then we got to the zombies, which weren't around for pages and pages and pages. One, you don't know how to write a zombie. To be expected. You know, I accepted that. You tried. You didn't do very much homework. But you tried. You wrote a monster, at least. You got that part down. Good job. But you don't know how to write trauma. You don't know how to write something terrifying happening. Early in the story, spoilers, by the way, early in the story, there's a huge car crash. Huge car crash. I won't say what happens in it, but there's a huge car crash. And it is supposed to be like the most traumatic scene ever. But it's not. The way it's written is literally a string of these are bad words that are full of energy and emotion that are how I would describe a bad situation. But it doesn't equate to a bad situation. It's like I just read some words and expect them to be like, hey, this is the bad stuff. You should feel bad about it. Yeah. You can read the book if you like. I'm not saying it's the worst piece of trash ever written. It's not. But don't expect much. Don't expect real zombies, and don't expect the best romance. But, you know, it can be enjoyed. Just know that it is totally a scam to get you to pay money for a book that is based off of basic principles of keywords from a Google search. It's a shame, but there are quite a few of them nowadays. Not the worst thing ever. Not the best. Anyway, I've been Mr. Joshua. This has been Be the Teddy Bear. And we shall see you for another book review sooner or later. Thank you for watching. Out.